Hi there. Welcome to Finding Meaning and Purpose in the Workplace. I'm so glad you decided to take this course. Thank you so much. So, my name is Gleb Sapursky, and let me tell you a little bit about myself and my background to let you know why I'm teaching this course. So, I'm the co-founder and president of Intentional Insights, an organization that is devoted to helping people use science-based methods to figure out and reach their goals. And this organization is based on academic expertise and translating this academic expertise into ordinary, everyday language that everyone can understand and can apply to the everyday practical matters of our lives. And my academic expertise comes from me being a professor. So I'm a professor at Ohio State University, where I'm a historian of science at the intersection of psychology, cognitive neuroscience, behavioral economics, and one of my primary areas of specialty is research on meaning and purpose. So I published the book, Find Your Purpose Using Science, and that's available on intentionalinsights.org, so the website of the organization Intentional Insights, and that describes a lot of more in-depth stuff that we will cover in an overview in this course on finding meaning and purpose in the workplace. So let's begin. Let's look at what we'll cover in the course as the first thing we do. Overview. We'll talk about the benefits to you and your organization of helping people find meaning and purpose in the workplace. We'll cover a little bit about the science on meaning and purpose, just so you know what that's about. Then we'll talk about how to evaluate your current sense of meaning and purpose and the current sense of meaning and purpose of your employees. Then we'll go through the 4 science-based strategies for improving the sense of meaning and purpose for people in the workplace, your employees. Strategy 1, figuring out long-term goals. Strategy 2 is self-reflection. Strategy 3 is developing social and community bonds. Strategy 4 is serving others. Then we'll finally get to the conclusion, and we'll have a little bit of an evaluation in a brief quiz at the very end. So that's what this course will be about. Okay, and I'm glad that you're here to take it. So thank you for taking it. Let's go on to the first slide in an overview of the benefits of finding meaning and purpose in the workplace. Organizational culture. Now, just as a something before we start to get into the depths of things, I want to make very clear that all of this stuff that I'm talking about is based on a wide variety of research conducted on meaning and purpose. So this is not stuff I'm taking out of thin air. This is based on research on companies that integrate a sense of meaning and purpose into their workplace. And so this is specifically research on companies and what they do. So I just want to make that very clear before we get into that. Now, let's talk about a little bit about organizational culture. Every company knows the benefits of having a strong organizational culture, having people really integrated into it and committed to it, having them see what it's about and see what the company itself is about. So this is organizational culture, having this good fit into the organization, and that is crucial for any organization. Now, what the studies have found is that a sense of meaning and purpose in the workplace really helps people fit better into the organizational culture. People experience a richer integration into the organization. They experience a fuller alignment with their own goals, with the organization, so the organization's goals and their own goals, and they really see their own place in the organization and how they are part of the broader benefits of the broader good that the organization does in the world. And as a result, there is less turnover and less other problems that happens when people are not aligned into the organizational culture. So there are many less problems that occur. So for example, less turnover. Now, there are a lot of other benefits from people's fit into the organizational culture and more broadly a sense of meaning and purpose. And one of those benefits is a strong sense of motivation. So people tend to be really motivated, really passionate about the organization and what they do when they feel a sense of meaning and purpose in the workplace. They're really committed to the organization, they're committed to its goals, they're committed to what's going on, and therefore because of this sense of alignment, they feel motivation. They feel that they really want to get the work done, and they feel committed to it. They don't slack off on their work time, or not nearly as much. Everyone slacks off some of the time. You can't spend all your time working. But they spend much less of their time not working, and they're more motivated to help the organization achieve its goals. They look for opportunities for improvement by themselves. They take initiative, and they help other people, so they are more integrated with other people. They're to achieve the organization's goals. A real sense of motivation. That's really powerful. Now, besides this motivation, or partially as a result of this motivation, there's a much higher level of productivity in companies that focus on getting meaning and purpose into the workplace. They are people show just a much higher level of performance. And this is statistically significant. So when I say much higher, I mean statistically significant. So a statistically significant increase in people's productivity in the workplace. So they have a higher output of whatever company they belong to, whatever organization they belong to, there is a higher output. So that's always good. Now, a part of this higher output is not only because they are more productive, it's not only that they do more things, but that they do the right things. And that's crucial, that they do the right things. And that comes from a sense of a clearer alignment between themselves and the organization. So there's that clearer alignment leads them to do more productive things, more beneficial things for the organization to achieve its own goals. So that's a very important part of what it means to be productive. They don't only do more things, but they also do more of the right things. Now, next, teamwork. A sense of meaning and purpose in the workplace really contributes to teamwork. There's a sense of community spirit, that we're all in this together, and that encourages people to collaborate with others to a much higher extent than they did otherwise. Much higher meaning statistically significant. So statistically significantly greater extent than they did otherwise, than they would have otherwise. Now, there's also better sense of team communication. So people communicate better with each other. They communicate, they talk to each other, they try to help others understand. They don't only try to communicate, so they don't only say things, they try to make sure the other person understands what they're trying to say. And that's, of course, a really important part of good communication. There's also reduced team conflict, so reduced disagreements, the sense of all of us being in this thing together, alignment with organizational culture, reduces team conflicts because those are, of course, unproductive. They are unhelpful for the organization to achieve its goals. So reduced team conflicts is an important aspect of higher sense of meaning and purpose in the workplace. And just then better social cohesion and community spirit, which uplifts everyone, gives them better feelings about coming to work and doing all the work things, whatever they might be. And that itself is very valuable. So that is another important part of a greater sense of meaning and purpose in the workplace. Now, you won't be surprised that as a result of all of this, the bottom line is improved. And of course, the bottom line at all organizations is profit. Now, at all companies is profit. You might be at on an organization that does not happen to be a company. So for example, at a university or a hospital, and there the bottom line is different. But in essence, whatever the bottom line, might be for your organization, it is improved because people are more aligned with it. They are more aligned with the organization's goals and they are more committed to the organization's goals. So we talked about organizational culture. They are more motivated to do whatever the organization seeks to do.